Hello and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be doing an operator's guide of our 1964 Bolens Estate Keeper EK7. A few weeks ago we posted a similar kind of video to this about our 1980 Bolens HT23, and we got a lot of comments on that video about possibly doing future videos on other tractors in a similar style. So that is what we're here doing today, because we thought we'd do the next one on something a bit unusual, which the Estate Keeper is definitely very different to a lot of the other tractors in our collection, both mechanically and also physically in how you drive it. So let's go into a bit of background about this machine. With this model being an EK7, it's fitted with a Wisconsin 7D engine, which is actually 7.25 horsepower, and it's coupled to a 3-speed gearbox down there, which you mounted directly to it. Later on they did do an EK10, which was 10 horsepower Wisconsin engine mounted to a 6-speed gearbox, but because this is an earlier one, it is the less powerful model. Now, as I said before, the gearbox is mounted pretty much directly to the engine on the back axle, and the gearbox is just directly driven from a belt and pulley system going from the back of the engine. Now, out of the front of the back axle comes a PTO shaft here, which then goes to the front part of the tractor, and on our tractor powers the front deck, which I believe is the only implement that they imported this tractor with to the UK. In other parts of the world you could get this with a snow blade or a snow caster, and to steer this tractor, which is probably one of its main talking points, it is articulated in the centre like this, which means that it can turn within its own length. Now, to show some of these features, we do have a 1964 sales brochure here. You can see the EK there, and as we scroll down, you can see Bolens dubbed it a new concept in tractor design, and they also claimed that it doesn't turn, it pivots in the centre with its new frame steer design. As we go through, it demonstrates some of the power attachments. You can see the 32-inch deck that we've got there. And if we keep going, there's also the 30-inch reel mower, the deck, the snowcaster, snow blade, and also some tow behind attachments there, which you could use for this tractor. And then it goes on and details some of the other features. Now, this came out in the same brochure, or is advertised in the same brochure as some of Bolens' other models, like the 800, the 900, the 600, and even the old Suburbans, which are very rare now, and some of their walk-behind rotavators. We bought this tractor in 2016, and when we got it, it needed quite a bit of mechanical work. We had to work on the engine, fuel tank, we had to do some work on the gear linkage and the electricals of the tractor, but it now runs quite well and is mechanically sound for the best part of it. Cosmetically, it is a bit challenged. As we mentioned, the deck is the wrong colour at the moment. That shouldn't be white, and it looks like the whole tractor's had a bit of a dodgy white paint job, because I don't think it is the standard white. On this back panel, it's all made out of aluminium, and you can see a lot of bits where someone's done some ugly welding. I'm assuming to bridge some cracks, because these can be a bit fragile at times. Also, there's this plate that's been put around here and welded on, which I'm assuming is hiding even more damage. And there's also this bit of angle iron, which is just randomly bolted on there. It's not meant to be there. Not fully sure why that was ever put on. but at some point it'd be nice to cosmetically restore this, get rid of all the random stuff that's on it, and make it look nice, because I think this would be quite a nice showpiece. Now let's go through the controls, and this is a much simpler tractor than the HT23 that we did an operator's guide on before. Now this is the only tractor that we have where you sit in front of the pivot point, which makes it very weird to go around corners on, but you quickly get used to it. It's also our only tractor where the engine is behind you, which is also strange hearing the noise coming from behind you. But onto the controls, you have a small controls area here where you've got your throttle lever, choke lever, and the ignition key. There's no fancy safety features like there is on the HT23 for starting up. It is literally just turn the key and it starts up. 1960s, they hadn't really invented that far in safety. But we also have a clutch and brake pedal this side. This is the only pedal control on this, which you push down if you want to change gear or stop. Then at the front here we have two adjustments, one on each side of the deck for the deck height. And speaking of the deck, you have the attachment lift lever here, which you push the button down and lower or lift your attachments with. Now on this side you have the gear stick, which is another thing that's weird having behind you, but again you get used to it. Up and forward is reverse, up and back is first, down and back is second, and down and forwards is third. As we said earlier, it's only a 3-speed model, this one, but it is strange reaching behind you to try and change gear. Now on the other side there's the PTO control here. So to turn the PTO on, you have to push it down, bring it around 90 degrees, and then kind of pull it out to lock it in position. That's the on position. Then when you want to turn it off, you have to push it in again, bring it up to the original position, and let the spring pop up to lock it in. Now it's currently in freewheeling mode, meaning you can pull or push it as much as you want to maneuver it. Now to actually drive the tractor, you'd have to change the position that the freewheeling hub is in. So you push this in, turn it a bit, then now if I wiggle it about a bit, there you go, that's popped out, and I can no longer push it or pull it very far, but it allows you to engage drive and actually drive the tractor. Now if I wanted to push it again, I'd just do the inverse operation, give it a bit of a wiggle, push it in, turn it round a bit, and that is now pushable again. Now we're ready to take it for a spin and show you some of its capabilities, but because we haven't used this machine in a while, we have just gone around and checked some of its oil levels. It has an oil bath air filter, and we've checked the level in that, that's fine. Engine oil, the dipstick is there, and we've checked that, that's a good level. Then for the gearbox oil, the drain and fill are both on this side here. The fill's the one at the top, which we also used to check the level. Only other thing to turn on before we start it is the fuel tap, which we've already done, and that's got enough fuel in it to give it a bit of a run. So we'll just close the lid here, I'll hop on and we'll get it started. Should start up pretty quickly. So as you will have seen then, it's a lot of fun to drive this Estate Keeper, and it is very strange, as I said before, sitting in front of where the steering, or pivoting as Bolens would say, happens. However, the size difference between something like this compared to our HT23 is massive when it comes to grass cutting, which is why we use the HT23 over the Estate Keeper. The Estate Keeper does give a bit of a better finish, and obviously you can go around the trees where you need to be quite short to get under it, whereas the HT23 can't do that. However, the 32-inch deck compared to the 54-inch deck, there's just not really any competition. We kind of have to use the HT23 time-wise, and also for fuel costs. It's a lot cheaper to use the HT23, and it's just more efficient. But I hope you've enjoyed this operator's guide of our EK7. Please let us know in the comment section down below what tractor you might want to see an operator's guide on next. But that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.